Alright, so today I'm going to be making my barbecue bacon beer brats with beer cheese recipe. So this is basically some just regular uncooked bratwurst sausages. I've wrapped them in bacon and then I put toothpicks on each end to hold the bacon in while it sears. And then the sauce that I'm going to saute them in is going to be a mix of barbecue sauce and a little bit of beer and a little bit of spices. To kind of coat the brats and fully cook them and give them this nice, slightly beer taste, barbecue rich, slightly sweet flavor. And then I'm going to make a beer cheese and use that to top them with. So first thing I'm going to do is start searing my brats. I've got this pan on about a medium heat and I'm just going to sear these probably about for 6 or 7 minutes just to make sure the bacon is fully cooked on each side. Bam. And then once those are done, I'm going to take them out of the pan and then I'm going to start making my barbecue sauce. Alright, so I cooked my brats for about 7 or 8 minutes and I flipped them a couple times. And this is what they look like so far. They're a little bit more than halfway cooked through, and then when I make the barbecue sauce, they're going to cook all the way the rest through in that. So what I put in my beer barbecue sauce is I've got about 3/4 of a cup of barbecue sauce. That's a little high. I'm going to turn that down a bit. So you'll want to cook this and bring it to a gradual simmer. It's going to simmer on a low to medium simmer. So I'm going to take that off the heat for just a second, cool it down. I'm going to put it on, I don't know, about a medium heat. I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to put it back here and continue putting my stuff on. Alright, so I've got 3/4 of a cup of barbecue sauce. And then I'm going to use probably about 1 to 2 ounces of beer. Just depends on how much beer flavor you like. And I'm going to use about 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. I like this stuff because I think it adds a little bit of tang to go with the barbecue sauce, but then once you cook it down, it adds this kind of savoriness to it. It's probably just a couple tablespoons of that, 1 to 2 teaspoons. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of seasoning. This doesn't need much flavor, but I'm just going to spice it up a little bit. Probably about just a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. It's not going to be a strong garlicky flavor at all. It's just going to be a little bit. And then probably about a half a teaspoon of seasoned salt. And then about a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. And about a 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. Maybe even an 1/8 if you don't like much spice. It's not going to spice it up too much, but it'll just give it a little extra kick. And then probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper, just a few little shakes. This back on this burner, and this is going to cook for probably about, I'd say, another 7 to 10 minutes. The sauce is going to reduce, the alcohol is going to cook out, it's going to become nice and thick, and it's going to coat the bratwurst. So now that I've got all that evenly mixed in, I'm going to go ahead and put the bratwurst back in. And I'm going to let these cook in the sauce, like I said, about anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes to make sure they've cooked all the way through, to make sure the sauce reduces and the alcohol cooks out and the sauce starts to adhere and thicken up onto the bratwurst. So when this is done, I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll show you how I make my beer cheese. Alright, so my brats are done cooking through. The sauce reduced really well, and this is what they look like. It reduced a lot. It is tangy and sweet. It's got a really good flavor to it. The coating adhered really well. Got a little bit of char, and it just looks and tastes really good. So, got that. That's all done. And now what I have here is I have melted 4 ounces of cream cheese and a cup of shredded cheddar in this pot, and I'm just doing this on a low to medium low heat. So I've got that all done, and the last thing I'm going to do is add probably about 4 ounces of beer to it, and that's going to be the beer cheese. You can use whatever beer you like. I just was at the grocery store and saw the individual beers, so I just picked up a Sam Adams. The only thing I would recommend is not to get anything like you know, like a seltzer or something that's fruit flavored or anything like that. But just other than that, your favorite type of beer, it's pretty damn good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir this together on medium-low heat. Again, I'll probably add somewhere close to 4 ounces until it becomes a consistency of, you know, just a general, my brain's not working, just a general cheese sauce. So I will show you guys what that looks like in a minute, and then I'm going to dress them, and then we're going to give them a try. Alright, so this is rough lighting, but these are the brats. They look wonderful. They've got a nice tangy and slightly sweet flavor. They're fully cooked through. The sauce adhered well. Tastes really good. This is the beer cheese. It's just a regular cheese sauce consistency. It's got really good flavor. So I'm going to let the stuff cool down a little bit, dress them, try them, and show you guys what they look like. Alright, so I just tried this shit, and goddamn, I haven't had it in a long time, and it's really good. So this is the final product. My barbecue bacon beer brat with beer cheese. And they are awesome. Probably haven't had those in about a year and a half. And then this is the beer cheese. Came out really well. Beer cheese has a nice tangy flavor to go with the sweetness and tang of this barbecue sauce. This barbecue sauce, beer, Worcestershire mixture, comes out really well. It's got good sweetness, but also not too much, and it's got a good tang, and I think that flavor profile goes really well with the savory brat alongside with soaking into the bacon. The bacon is nice and cooked through, and the cheese just going on top of it. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. So this is a pretty simple recipe actually to make. It's not as intimidating as it looks. It's got a few layers to it, but the steps are quick and the process is pretty easy and painless. And the beer cheese is super easy to make, and it comes out really well. So if you like stuff like this, barbecue brats, bacon, cheese, beer, you're ready to, you know, kind of get summer going, this is a good one. So and also I wanted to mention, if you're uncomfortable using alcohol, it does cook out when you cook it. So it's not really an issue serving it to kids. But you can not put the beer in the barbecue sauce. You can use milk instead of beer in the beer cheese, and it still comes out really well. It's still got a good flavor. I would still recommend a little bit of Worcestershire just to give it a nice little tang. But it comes out really well. You don't have to wrap anything in bacon. You can just do the brats on their own. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways that you can do this dish, and I've done it a few different ways, but I just kind of decided to throw the main recipe out there, and then you can kind of go from there and cater it to what you like. So, again, if you found this interesting, if you want to give it a try, it's not too difficult at all. It's not very intimidating, but it comes out really, really good, and it's got a lot of good flavors. So, if you try it, hope you enjoy.